I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful. I will. With all the things that I've seen, I ain't ever seen no demons.
Welcome back to Spitball Cinema. I'm Shane.
I'm Scott.
I'm David.
And today, gonna get a little, gonna dabble in a little bit of sin. It's Sinners.
Yeah.
Sinners.
Yeah. And number one, everybody loves a good vampire flick.
Absolutely.
Did you guys know that it was a vampire movie before you went into it?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did. I did.
I
But-
didn't know.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, I didn't.
I don't know how
Okay.
I knew. I don't know if
I knew I
I don't
wanted
know
to.
if you said something about it or it was just from the trailer or it. I
See,
can't
I didn't
remember.
see the trailer. That's probably. I didn't
Oh,
know if they
see,
showed-
I
did they
did.
show
I
any
did,
Oh,
vampire-
yeah.
maybe that's what it is.
Did they show any vampires?
Well, you got to see the really cool, like, glowing eyes, and you got to
Yeah.
see, the trailers were well done.
Huh.
Yeah, it was. What a very surprisingly
Awesome.
good movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it was. Now, it did have some things I thought was a little, it's kind of a little bit anti-white, a little bit, I thought.
Comes with the
at
director.
times, but
Well, it was set back in the time.
right, I know,
Yeah, but
I know,
still.
but still, I don't know.
It's kind of like what was it that I saw?
Well, I
I'm trying
mean,
to remember what it was that I saw where someone was like, "Dude, you could be a great director. You could be like the white Jordan Peterson." And it just made me laugh. I guess I was just like, "Yeah."
Well, I think the guy that directed the first Black Panther movie, if I remember correctly.
well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
Well, and then he did
the Black Panther movie. I thought was that way too. Myself.
No, but no, he is very
No,
much.
I thought it had some anti-white stuff in it. That's the way I took. That's the way I took it. And they said some anti-American stuff in that too.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'll say this much: the guy sticks to his guns. He's got good stories to tell.
Right.
So even the ones where the message is a little like,
And that's just my opinion, though.
yeah.
I mean,
But he still sticks it. The guy knows how to tell a good story. What was the one that he did with the aliens? But it wasn't flying saucers. It was.
That's a different director, though.
Is that a different director?
That's Jordan Peterson.
Oh, that's what I thought.
The name that movie was called Nope.
No.
oh,
that's
so
right.
you're talking about a different. The
Yeah.
director here is Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
Coogler. Okay.
Coogler.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was I don't know. I thought it was just a solid
And-
movie. Sinners is just so good.
Yeah, and I the one thing I really liked about it was because it kind of took on a From Dusk Till Dawn type of storytelling to it. Because if you guys remember, From Dusk Till Dawn started off as a crime heist,
Yep.
cat and mouse chase, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of fucking vampires show up.
Oh yeah. And the parallels are definitely there.
I think he did that on purpose because he implemented a lot of his favorite horror movies into Sinners. I think there's a few videos on YouTube that shows you this scene is also like the scene in Evil Dead or Poltergeist or something like that. But yeah, I thought it was very well directed. I thought.
Well,
Well, to me, just the time period. Number one, love that time period myself. So it's that 1920s. It's the
Mhm.
gangster films. It's
Yeah.
the but it takes it out of the cities, and it takes it down south.
Yeah.
And to me, it was really good. I loved how who was the actor that plays the brothers, Smoke and Stack?
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What a
Oh, yeah.
great job he did, man.
Well,
That's
Oscar
hard
winning.
to-
He won an Oscar for
Yeah.
it.
Oh, did he?
Well
Yeah.
deserved.
Good for him.
Yeah, best
Good
actor.
for him.
Best
That's great.
actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hard to do.
Tells you how much I don't watch the Academy Awards anymore that I didn't know that.
Well, they were right on. Actually, I thought this movie should have beat one battle after another
Oh,
for
it's
for,
way better
for
than that.
best picture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Way better picture. Uh, comparing the two,
Yeah.
and
Well, I'll tell you what, the way that they wrote the two characters, the twins, but they had their very distinct look, one with the
hmm
blues, one with the reds, but not over the top
and
blue or red.
I found myself liking this better the second time I watched it. The
Loved
first
it.
the first
Yeah.
time I liked it, but I appreciated it more the second time I watched it. I really started to see the things in it. I was like, oh wow, this is I really
Yeah.
missed
Second time
this. Yeah,
around, the things that I didn't like the first time around didn't bother me the second time around.
right,
And then
right.
the third time I watched it, I didn't give a shit at all, and I just kept looking at all the detail. And
Yeah,
just the music in this movie
Oh,
is just
it's
brilliant.
phenomenal.
And it
Yeah.
reminded me of like some of the old Ry Cooder um soundtracks and stuff from
like
back
that,
in the day.
kind of like, and also kind of reminded me a little bit of that movie
Well,
Crossroads.
that's I was just going to say
Well, yeah,
that.
Ry
Yeah.
Cooder did Crossroads
Yeah.
and Last Man Standing.
That's what it
Um,
reminded me more of Crossroads than From Dusk Till Dawn. For me anyway. That's
oh,
what
the
it
just the music side
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Well,
hmm
it kind of draws on that because it uses music as the connecting tissue of why the evil is there.
I tell you what, when those bluegrass vampires come walking out of it and they start singing that
Oh,
those
the Irish vampires,
oh
yeah.
yeah, the Irish, and they start singing those songs like it was almost like Gaelic or something, I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it was so creepy the way they were having this battle with these songs. I was like, oh my goodness,
yeah.
and they're glowing their eyes and stuff, and that just the way that those songs were going, I was like, oh my god,
Did
it's
you
Well,
guys
it's one of those things where
understand?
like the Irish. Well, I'm sorry, Dave. I was just gonna say real quick, Irish music very influential in bluegrass, which is what you were talking about,
hmm
and then also reggae. Because
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
Irish sailors and stuff that came to Jamaica, and
hmm
that whole reggae sound comes from that. So there's a
yeah.
real mix between Irish and black cultures, especially when it comes to music. Which I thought, I don't know, the music in here was just so brilliant. I'm sorry, Dave. What were you saying?
Well, I mean, one thing also, not just as creepy as their eyes go on, but did they ever explain what that clear plastic stuff that looked like drool?
Oh, it's just drool. Yeah, they're just drooling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Although the
So it looked
eyes,
like kind of like candle wax. So it was like, I don't know if they did that just to make it stand out on their face or.
yeah, I'm not sure what they used for it. I know in some other movies they actually use like clear corn syrup
Hmm.
to get that thick, stringy kind of a look to it, but I'm not sure exactly what they used in this film. But it was neat because I went back since I rewatched the film, and it was the third time that I watched it, and I really loved it. But I went through and I watched the kind of the making of and behind the scenes things that
Hmm.
they were talking about, and the eyes. It was interesting because Coogler was talking about how he wanted his vampires to have like these really cool eyes. He's like, man, I don't even know about this. And it was like one of the special effects people is like somebody that they knew that they were just like, hey, yeah, we want to do this. And she's like, oh, I've been working on this. Here, look at these
Mm.
prototypes. And they're literally contact lenses that reflect the light.
Oh, really?
And so, yeah, so they're actually like wearing these
Well,
contact lenses that reflect light. They said they hurt like hell.
those eyes also kind of reminded me of the same vampire eyes in Fright Night.
A little bit,
A
Hmm.
little
yeah.
bit.
Where
Hmm.
these were kind of silver
In the
reflecty.
new Fright Night, in the new
No,
one,
no, no,
or
No,
oh,
the
the old one?
original.
the
Okay.
original. Because I that trailer always creeped me out as a little kid. When they showed those eyes glow in the window, or not? Yeah,
Yeah.
the window of the next door house.
Yeah, I'll talk about those glowing eyes though. When the one gal turns around and she's walking away, and
Yeah.
their eyes are just glowing, and you're just like, man, that's
Or
freaky.
Oh yeah,
or
then
how
that,
about when
and then that
you
guy
know
flies up
they
the
they
air.
have gotten turned, but nobody else knows, and they're coming out and they're like, well, just invite me in, let me in, you know, it's just
Oh
let
yeah,
me, like a Salem's Lot type of thing. Just let me in, you know, just invite
oh
me
yeah,
in.
the guy that
Let,
was doing the bouncer. I'm
yeah,
trying to remember his name.
yeah,
That
and
guy
they're like,
was
why do
Early
funny.
why do we
film. He
have
was
to invite
great.
you in? You've been here all night. What are you talking about? You
Yeah.
know, and he go, well, I just invite you know, and
Well, it's polite. It's what you
yeah,
do.
it's just what you do, you
Yeah.
know.
And then the guy will be like, "Well, you haven't had to do that." He's like, "I'm not talking to you." You know, blah, 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 like jumping on her,
And
and then
see,
he's like,
he didn't
back to
realize
being reasonable.
when
You know.
the one guy's girlfriend went out
The
there
voodoo.
and got
Oh, the
bit.
white.
The white girl
Yeah.
that got bit when she came in. Well, you're gonna invite me in, and he was like, he didn't realize what was going
Yeah. Like,
on.
come on in.
He said,
Yeah.
well, yeah, come on in. We, you know,
Well,
yeah,
I
girl.
thank God they had the woman that did voodoo because she was the one that heard stories.
Yeah, she's the
'Cause
one that
she's the one
Yeah.
that she's the
she's the
first
one put
one
it.
that picked it
Yeah,
up.
she put it together.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, hey, why are we having to invite? Don't trust him. What? Why is he saying this? That
Yeah.
she was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh
you
my
know what? She
God.
was great,
She
Yeah.
was.
and I highly recommend the behind the scenes making of on the 4K because it goes into a lot of the hoodoo, um,
Oh, cool.
kind of the hoodoo and how they tied it in. And the actress was talking about how she got to kind of read up on all these things and how it was really neat how she said it because she said like the more that you learn, the more connected that you felt to the people that you were trying to represent. You know, and
Wow.
so she was just like, you know, so to her it had like this kind of ancestral tug, you know, like generational kind of a thing, but being able to understand it and then portray it on film and then, you know, give it the kind of credibility,
I'll have to go back and
you
watch
know,
that.
but it was just so well done. And the writing was so good.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But just to go back to the whole smoke and stack thing, the way that they visually separated those characters
Mm-hmm.
and they tied them in, you know, because the one guy working with Capone, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they had like what Irish beer
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and what was the other one? The Italian. They had like Italian wine, Irish beer.
Right.
You know, well, all the Italians, you know, that's a fellow. He's got the fedora,
Mm-hmm.
all dressed in kind of red. You know, so he's got that Chicago mob look.
Yeah.
Well, then there was, I think that was Stack, and then I think Smoke was the one that was in blue. Well, he's got the Irish cap. He's with he's running with the Irish mob, you know, up
Mm-hmm.
there. So you know you can tell they just stole from both and then ran.
Yeah.
You know, they just ran, and then they were gonna open up their own place and try to get by and lay low. You know, and
It's a cool idea.
it's a great idea. But both those characters are so good. I could have watched a movie just about them.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah, you take the vampires out of it, and you've got
Do a
two
prequel.
interesting characters that you could do an entire movie around.
Yeah. Yeah. You could very much so.
Yeah, and it would have been amazing. But instead, we also get vampires. Huge bonus.
Yeah.
Because you can't go wrong with vampires.
That's true.
And you're right, Dave. It does come. You know, you have like this crime story, this story going, then all of
Yep.
a sudden it turns, and you're just like, whoa, what the, you know?
But you get excited before
Yeah.
it turns. You're excited that they got people coming. They got the cool Asian couple that's doing the food and serving the drinks.
And it's really funny too because the wife works on the white side of town, and she's dealing with all the rich people,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then he's working the other side of town, you
Yes.
know, to the kind of local, but very industrious family.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're
Smart.
really good. And my wife absolutely hates the woman in the movie,
Which one?
the Asian
Oh man,
gal.
she was like one of
Why?
the best parts of the movie.
Oh, just
Oh,
absolutely hates her at
because
the end.
because she talked the husband into going out and getting killed,
No.
or
Because she's the one that invites all the vampires in at the end.
yeah, oh yeah,
And she's just like, well, bitch, they weren't leaving to go get anybody. Why did you have to let them in? You know, oh, God,
oh
bitch, she was mad. She was
They
so
only
bad.
had a couple hours till sunup.
Exactly. It's like, you know, if you'd just shut your mouth and kept them all there, they would have dissipated and you probably could have saved your kid. But instead, oh, you got to let them all in.
she
You
got
know.
her husband killed too, didn't she?
Well, he was going to go and get their daughter. So he left when they didn't really know what was going on.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
so he was kind of like, yeah.
But he's like, look, we're gonna
So-
get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Weechi-
get the car.
We're
You
When
know,
she went off on that.
oh, she hated that. She was just like, well, what the hell? She just invited them all in, blah blah. And then,
That's what
and then
gets you pumped up for the
yeah,
I bet she
movie.
said,
well, and the
"That's
second time
stupid.
around,
That's
I'm
stupid."
like, look, she's sitting there saying, "Hey, you're supposed to be this soldier. You're supposed to be the guy with all the plan. Why don't you man up and do something about these vampires? Because my daughter's going to get killed, and if you really care, you do something." And then my wife just looks at me and she goes, "You do something if you're stupid." And I was just like,
I
okay,
knew she
there's
was going to
no,
say
yeah,
something
there's
about
Oh,
stupid.
God.
no arguing that one at that point. But she even likes the movie though. So,
She did like it?
oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um,
I haven't met anyone who doesn't like the film.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone I've ever talked to loves it, and it's
Well,
always for a different reason.
I've met somebody that doesn't.
Oh, okay.
My daughter, she hated it.
Did she?
But my daughter hates a lot of things, so.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
She didn't like weapons either.
What?
Yeah, and
Oh,
I couldn't believe it. I
ooh.
thought sure she would like these two because that's why I suggested it to her.
Yeah.
She didn't care for them.
Who's the guy that plays Preacher Boy? I was trying to remember the actor's name.
See, a lot of people think that was the singer Shabuzi, but it's not. I don't think.
Oh God,
Boy,
no.
Preacher Boy.
No. This guy's an actual actor.
Uh, how come I'm not seeing him there?
Well, while you're looking that up, let's also mention probably one of the best characters in that movie, Mr. Delroy Lindo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Did he get nominated for best
Yeah,
supporting?
he didn't win that. You know who beat him? Sean Penn.
Oh, for God's
Oh,
sake.
come on, seriously?
Yeah,
Oh, that's terrible.
yeah,
It's terrible because he
Fuck
did a
you,
great
Academy.
job.
That's why I don't watch the Academy Awards
Yeah.
anymore.
Well,
yeah. Sean Penn got his third Oscar.
oh,
Fuck
that's
him.
terrible. Yeah, but the actor that played Preacher Boy, it was really interesting because when I was watching an interview with him and he was talking about it, and so he learned guitar just to play the role.
Really?
Yeah. And so when he goes and he's playing in the car and he starts singing, that's like that's his actual voice. That's him singing.
Well, did you see
And
the look on Michael B. Jordan's face as he's singing?
yeah,
Oh,
Hey,
when they're driving.
Yeah, when they're driving.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's because he'd never heard him sing. So when he started singing, he was literally
in
shocked.
in awe.
He was literally
So
like,
that was
"Holy crap, this
that
guy's
was
good!"
that was a
So
real reaction.
it was a real
I
reaction.
thought it was just good acting.
No, it was actual real reactions. He was just like,
Wow.
"Holy shoot," because he's just like in the car, and they didn't have him practice or do anything around anybody else. So that when he started singing, that was the first time, and so that is an actual reaction from the actor, just being like, "Holy crap, this guy's good." But he did such a great job.
Oh my gosh.
Really, really good. Um, and I gotta skip to the end because later on when he's older, and he's portrayed by Buddy Guy, and Buddy
That's cool
Guy
because he
is
still has those
just the best.
scars on his face and neck.
Right, still showing all that, and but the scene with Buddy Guy, I just loved that
Oh.
because here they are coming back and he recognizes them, and even the people in the bar are kind of like little unnerved and they're like, what
I
the
think
hell?
I think he sensed them coming in. Like he's like, I haven't felt this way since, and then all of a sudden they walk in.
Yeah. Well, and if you notice, because Stack kind of does this little sniff thing, and he's like, "Well, I told him we'd stay away. I
Miles,
promised my brother that we'd stay away until the end." Which is interesting because in the beginning of the film, he's kind of playing, the guitar.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
in the church, and all that. He's not playing in the church, but
Right.
and when he says, I told her I wouldn't bother you until it was the end. And he does that little stiff kind of like he's like, yep, you're about to die, and they kind of do that whole reminiscing thing. And for people who don't know, Buddy Guy is like just one of the best blues players
gosh,
out there, guitar wise. And so I remember seeing him in concert and just being super impressed.
you saw him in concert?
Oh yeah,
Really?
oh yeah. And
Wow.
Buddy,
Coming in concert here, by the way.
yeah, he's still playing.
No kidding.
It's amazing, yeah. Well, he owns his own bar, and I'll never forget because it was James Master, and James like saw Buddy Guy. He goes up to him at the bar, and he's just like, "Hey, I want to buy you a drink." And Buddy Guy looks him dead in the eye and just says, "Well, I own this bar." And James looks at him and he goes, man, that ain't the point.
Maybe-
You know,
Oh, buy me a drink.
and he goes, all right, you know. So and James bought him a drink. You know, just sat there and chatted with him and the whole bit. But the guy is one of the nicest people that you'll meet.
Wow.
Super genuine and just a legend.
Guy
But
that
in
plays
the
Miles Caton, Caton is the guy that played the
Preacher Boy.
Preacher
okay,
Boy.
Preacher Boy.
Sammy Moore.
Yeah. But it's interesting because at the very end of the movie, when you go to the kind of the post credit scene,
Mhm.
it's him, but back in the church, playing his guitar again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it was interesting because I was watching something and they were kind of like, yeah, I'd like to think that that's him after he passes away because they come and visit him and tell him it's the end. Do you wanna do
Ooh.
this? And they're like, he's like, no. He goes, no, I don't wanna, you know. And then they're like, all right, you know, we'll catch you later, kind of thing, you know. But then
Ooh.
all of a sudden at the end, there he is back in the church with the old guitar and he's playing. Um, I can't remember the song that he's playing, but just traditional, you know, little church music thing that
And he
he's
kind of went
playing.
against his dad. The whole,
He did,
you
yeah.
know, he kind of went and did his own thing,
Yeah.
and
Well, it's
and
that
and,
foot.
and, and he kind of got. It was almost like he got punished for doing his own thing too, a little bit. That's
A
why
little
he
bit.
had to go through all that he went through.
Well,
His dad
maybe
warned him.
maybe Kugler liked Footloose. You
Yeah,
know, kind of like that religious thing. You can't dance, or like, well, you can't
yeah,
play music.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
devil's music, and you're going into
yeah,
this den
yeah.
of
Maybe
thieves.
that's a yeah.
Well, there you go. It's the devil's music, all right, because the devil tracked him down. You know,
Should
so
have
his
John.
dad wasn't wrong,
You should have had John Lithgow
but
in
he
it.
wasn't necessarily right.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go.
He would have been a good
I would've
vampire.
been
You would have
good.
been actually.
Yeah.
But
So
with
but the whole concept behind the movie, of course, is that it's the music that draws these spirits in because it allows them to kind of feel something
yeah,
again.
yeah.
I guess it's probably, to me, it's the best way to describe it.
God,
The
it was
the one
just
thing in
so
the film
good.
that I didn't like was the scene where they brought in people from the different time periods. To me, I found it jarring because I was so immersed in the time period that it represented.
So it kind of killed that vibe for you.
In
That
a way, yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
Now
actually love that scene.
I liked
But see, that's the thing. Other people love that scene.
well
Oh, yeah.
because that's what it was, that gift to bring back or to show you the future, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like you could cross over in
In
time,
time,
and
yeah,
the things would kind of mix between traditional and modern and future music,
yeah.
and the
I
and the and the music was that thread. The first time I watched it, didn't like that scene. Second time I watched it, I was okay with the scene. The third time I watched it, I was just like, all right,
now you
you
get
know,
it.
it didn't throw me out of the movie like it did the first time. Um, which I'm glad because it's such a good movie. But that was just one of those scenes that just kind of it to me it knocked me out of. They did such a great job of getting the time period right, costumes, music, you know, vocabulary, everything was just great. And then that scene, I'm just like, okay, electric guitar and a guy with sunglasses, and then the traditional Chinese dancer in the background. And I'm like,
It
to me, it was
it
just
was
like,
too much for you.
well, it was that, you know, you talk about suspension of disbelief or whatever, you know, but
Was it
I
kind
was
of
so
like they
immersed in the time period and I appreciated
was it
the
kind of like
immersion that it kicked me out
they broke the fourth wall for you or
a
something?
little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But as you watched it again, it becomes less jarring. So, like, I think some people I think I appreciate the time period so much that I didn't appreciate leaving it.
It kind of reminded me of Moulin Rouge. You know how
Oh my
they
God.
brought the
You go by ruining this episode and bringing up that piece
Oh.
of shit. Yeah.
Well, they were bringing in
Oh.
modern music with the, you know, I mean,
Oh, that
when you
hurts.
think about it.
That
See, I
hurts.
think
Yeah, see, I try not to think about it.
see how I took that scene and why I liked it a lot was that it showed no matter where you come from or what part of the world you are, music just enhances the good times of your life. People
True.
dance for, a lot of positive things.
Ewan McGregor would have been a good vampire.
Would you stop that? For those of you who don't
You
know,
know, Salma
Scott
Hayek would have
has
made this movie.
Scott has an obsession with Moulin Rouge.
An unhealthy obsession
Yeah.
with Moulin Rouge. I mean, I like the Beatles, but for God's sake, man. But no, but yeah,
Won't you
the
be
music
mine?
is so good,
Won't
and
you
the fellow that did the soundtrack, and I can never pronounce his name, but
Oh, jeez.
because he did I believe he's the one that did the theme for the Mandalorian of
Oh,
all
really?
things. But he did such an amazing job. This guy has such a wide base of musical knowledge, which is amazing. And the fact that he was able to kind of go into the roots of the blues and find those different themes and
Is it
stuff in order
the
to
composer?
the composer, yeah,
Ludwig?
yeah,
Jorian?
yep,
Joransson.
Jorgensen?
Joransson, yeah,
Yeah, there he is.
yeah, that guy's amazing.
Swedish composer.
Yeah, he's so good, and
I think I
he
watched
can easily be
the next John Williams.
next John Williams
Yeah.
because
Oh, come
this
on
guy,
now, that's pretty.
I
I
know,
don't know.
know.
He's
but I'll
pretty
tell you
good.
what, this guy can score a film like
Yeah.
nobody's business. Everything he's done has just been over the top good.
That's a big saying.
It is, and the thing is that you throw him into something like Sinners. You got a guy from Sweden doing
Yeah.
Delta blues, and nailing it, and making sure that you get those authentic sounds, and going back and spending time with
Yeah.
some of the modern living legends of the blues, and
Well, like the
listen
director
to
of
the old
Moulin
records and
Rouge.
stuff.
What's his name?
Baz Luhrmann.
Luhrmann. I mean, same
Oh,
thing.
yeah, I don't think so.
Dave
oh my
is about
God.
to pass out. He is about to pass out that I brought up.
Well, I think we're both about to just pause it and start over. Like, just stop it now. But no, but Sinners, great stories. Both of your main characters, Smoke and Stack, great stories. Side characters, great character building. It's the character development to where when these people actually die or something happens to them, you
Care.
care.
Yeah, and that's something that
It's just
a
missing.
lot of times is missing in films. Or even TV shows. You'll be watching these shows, and you just don't give a shit about any of these characters.
Or where you see a character, you're like, "Yep, that person's gonna die."
I mean, you just
Yep,
don't.
that
You just
person's
don't
gonna
care,
die.
and you don't care.
Yeah.
But on something like this, you do actually care when you see
Oh, yeah.
when you see him about to die.
Yeah.
And I think one person we're forgetting to talk about is the white guard Haley Steinfeld,
We'll get
Mrs.
to her,
Josh
yeah.
Allen.
Mrs. Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And something I didn't realize is that she is the girl that played the little girl in True Grit.
Yep.
I did not realize that.
Yep.
Was that really
That's her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
In the remake
on
of
the
True,
remake of True
True
Grit.
Grit. Yeah.
She was good in that.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but because I like yeah, I mean he does that in every movie. Hey, what the fuck?
Sorry, Jeff. We love.
Yeah.
I mean, but she's just smoking hot. I mean, she's
Oh God! Would you stop it?
well, I can't help it,
She's a great actress.
huh? Yeah, I know.
And she's easy on the eyes.
Yeah, I didn't know she was Josh Allen's old lady.
Did you guys cringe in that part where she spit in that guy's mouth?
Oh yeah.
Thanks, I think Scott rewound that part.
I went touchdown.
She does a good job,
Swing.
and it's interesting because when she interacts with people, she really does do a good job of playing that person that's caught between two worlds.
Yeah.
Very exotic look in this too. I thought her look was just really cool.
Well, I don't know. I mean, she had the hair. She had the, it was definitely a time period.
She had hair.
Well, yeah. Well,
Oh,
no, but I mean, it was interesting because she's playing a mixed character at a time where that ain't good.
well, right.
But she could pass off as she's more white than black as far as like the world would see her.
Yeah.
But she feels more comfortable in this other kind of culture.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting when she comes around and people are like, "Ma'am, I don't know if you want to be here," and then she's like, "Don't tell me what the," and then they're like, "Oh shit, it's you," and they're like, "Oh hey, good to see you again,"
Yeah.
but she doesn't. It's like she really is kind of caught between
And
those two things, which
and how about
also that goes in with some of the character development and the character stories.
Yeah.
That's why Weapons to me is such a good film because the characters are well developed. Each
Yeah.
each little segment of Weapons is a deep dive into
You
each
care
of
about
these
all.
people,
which they're doing
and
the
you
prequel to?
understand.
They are.
They're doing the
Yeah, I heard
with
about that. Yeah,
Amy.
about the
That's
witch.
what it's going to
Yeah,
be about. The witch. Yeah.
She
but
deserved that Oscar,
yeah,
man.
but
Oh,
just so well written. All the characters, you get the backstory that you need in the dialogue without someone else saying, "Oh, that's so and so. She's blah 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 blah," and so
Right.
and so's
Right.
ex
And
girlfriend.
how about
You
the
know,
gal that was seducing the gal that was married that seduced the preacher boy? And
oh yeah.
she kind of seduced him into there.
Well,
And
he was
well, he was losing his shit.
he's kind of flirting with her through the whole thing, and
Well, I
so
can't blame him, but
yeah.
well, so do you guys want to talk about the 3 Irish vampires in the movie? Did you think they did a good job?
oh
Well,
yeah,
you had the one Irish vampire,
Remick, Jack O'Connell.
yeah, and he was great. Now
Yeah, he was spooky.
the other two weren't necessarily Irish, but
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
yeah, but it was
Part of
interesting
the same clan.
because yeah, but his
I guess he's like an Irish actor that really hasn't done any movies around over
yeah.
here. He will now, thank God, because he was
I was
awesome.
gonna say I think he's gonna get.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, there's got to be people just banging down his door
He's in
because he did
some
such a
George Clooney.
great job.
He was in I think he was in this movie that Angelina Jolie directed about the war. God,
Unbroken.
I think so.
Was he the main character in Unbroken?
Let me see. I
don't know.
can't.
But anyway, he
But
does
you
such a
know what's
great
funny?
job.
Maybe I'm
You know what's
wrong.
funny though is that those
I
that
must have been
couple,
wrong.
married couple, should have listened to those Indians.
They really should have.
Oh yeah,
you know.
yeah,
But
yeah,
but they were kind of racist, and they
yeah.
didn't
They
like
were.
the
Yeah,
Indians,
they were.
and they were going to believe the guy that they let in, and they weren't going to believe the Indians who were coming up and talking to him because the Indians are just like,
Yeah,
yeah, well, be careful, lady. Because they're just like, okay, we know he's in there. We gotta go
but
because we know better.
it was
Yeah.
so like when they would recruit every time they would recruit somebody or make them a vampire, and then they would be out with them, and they'd all start singing that fucking creepy
Dude, that part
songs.
was cool.
I
Yeah, they'd all
mean,
play the instruments.
I
They're all
mean,
singing,
you're
getting
just
ready
like,
for battle and
yeah,
stuff.
you're just like, what
Yeah, it
the
was an
hell?
awesome scene.
Yeah,
Also, here's another thing you guys mentioned about great written characters. The guy that they thought was bit in the kitchen,
Oh
and they
yeah,
throw him out there, but then they realize this is like jelly or sherry wine or something like that. And then that guy,
yeah. They're like, don't let him in,
everybody,
don't let him in. And then
yeah, when
well,
people
they
are
chuck him out because
like,
they think he's dead. Then he's like not dead. He's like
Yeah.
he like wakes up. He's like, what the hell,
and he
guys?
gets
This is
just,
scary.
yeah, and it's like, oh man, that sucks.
And they finally open the door, and then they go, woof, he's gone. And it's just like, oh, you poor bastard.
No, we even cared about that guy. I mean, jeez. But yeah, it's
No,
one of the best movies of last year. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it
Oh,
should have
hands
won.
down.
Again, I don't. Yeah, I keep mentioning the Oscars. I don't give a fuck about them anymore. But that should have beat
It deserves
the
Yeah.
Leo
it.
movie.
It deserves all the awards that it got, plus the ones that it didn't get. Hands down, one of the better movies of last year.
Yeah, it was
period.
Or in
far.
years too.
In years.
It
Yes.
was far better than one battle after another.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no comparison, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I mean, just
Yeah.
cinematography, writing,
Music,
musical score.
costumes.
Oh yeah, just costume
I mean, I
casting.
could throw
The
in.
casting was
I'm
amazing.
just wearing like basically what Leo
Oh.
wore in the
Yeah,
Battle movie. So
yeah, but
You
no,
look like a
Sinners was
Yeah,
knocking it out of the park. It
You should-
draws on some of the best horror movies, and it makes it its own, and it makes it very unique.
Yeah, you should check it out at least, and form your own opinion about it. But
Um,
Yeah.
one thing I got to mention, if you're kind of squeamish about violence and stuff like that, they kind of toned it down color wise with the blood because it looked more of like a
It's kind of brownish.
and
Yeah.
that kind of helps with people who are a little squeamish about fake blood, and or at least gory movies or something like
Yeah.
that. So
I expect a lot of blood in my vampire movie, but they do tone it.
they do they
Yeah,
tone it
I
down.
do like a little bit more busty.
You like bustier vampires?
I like bustier vampire
Some of the
broads.
old, well,
Yeah,
that's because
like
you're an old Hammer film
exactly.
kind of
I mean,
guy.
I just like that. I gotta have that.
Sorry.
Well,
It
not
is
a lot of
just-
bustiness. Well, a little
Yeah,
bit, but
it
not
could have
enough.
showed a little
Yeah,
bit more bustiness.
My God.
that's
You
right. Alrighty, guys.
even Moulin Rouge has some busty.
Scott
in
is
it,
all right.
you know?
And on that note,
Yeah,
All right.
definitely sinners.
If you like this, please this episode, please like and subscribe.
share
If
it.
you want to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us at Spitball Cinema
And tell us your favorite
at
busty
Gmail.
vampire.
Gmail.
I say Salma Hayek and From Dusk Till Dawn.
And if you're a
That's the
busty
winner.
vampire, give us a shout out. Just send us a message. Okay. All right, everybody. That's going to do it. I'm Scott.
I'm Shade.
I'm David.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye.
No ghosts. No magic. Till now.
Hey, get back inside.
Let me in, man. Some weird shit going on out here. You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.